Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota Tim. All right, we're outside now. I've had my dinner. We're going to go over here to the gazebo. First, I want to show you. I got my all my lights going on: the hack lights, the front light, the awning light, and now we've got the Christmas lights all around the gazebo. Isn't that nice? Check it out. I'm going to move the bike. I'm going to put it over there next to the truck so you can see in through here. Now let's get on in here. Look at this thing. Look in here. I've got them all around. All we need now is a little warmth. How about a little light too, huh? Oh, this isn't good. Let me get my light. All right, everybody, here we are in the gazebo with a fire, a microphone, an overhead light, which I probably should put a little more over me over here. I'm going to do that. Hey, don't give up on me. We got skills here. Look at this. Look at this lighting. Does that work? I don't know. Kind of far away. Let me get you over here. You got a little bit of the fire there. Let me see if you can see me now. Testing. All right. I'll do a little editing here, folks, before there we go. Back you up there a little bit so you can see the far. Let me tell you, it's warm. Without the fire, it's a little chilly, and then because of this huge roof that is not a net, it is not a screen, it captures that heat immediately and makes it come down around, and it is nice. I mean, I think tomorrow night and the next several nights it'll be even cooler, so this will work out great. I have it as low as it can go. But I'm inside, I've got my Christmas lights, and I'm all mic'd up, and we're making a video. So tonight, I want to talk about remembering Christmases of yesteryear. I've talked on this topic once before. It was a pretty good video, and it's worthy of repeating, and I've got some other ideas, some questions I want to ask. And I want to start off tonight, like when you were a kid for Christmas, what was your most memorable gift that you ever got for Christmas? First of all, if you're my age, you remember Christmases that didn't have too many things that were technology. Maybe the game Operation, and it buzzed, but there was Rock'em Sock'em Robots, the Easy Bake Oven, and Slinkies. We got bicycles, roller skates. Race car tracks were cool. They were electric. But as far as video games and things, I don't think there was anything that was, like that. So what was your favorite? Let me see what mine was. Well, I think it was called Incredible Edibles. I don't know if it was my favorite, but I remember getting them. It was like I always wanted a science project, some kind of chemistry lab. They always made it look like you could, make a bomb or something that would smoke. Not a bomb, but something that would smoke or do something. And it ended up being just these bugs and spiders you would pour into a mold. I think some of them you could eat, and some of them were just rubber things. But I wanted to build something, you know. Speaking of building, do you guys remember model cars? They were in every store. It was a box like yay, pretty good sized little box. Some were bigger if they were, you know, like a semi truck or an airplane or something like that, with the cement, and you would sit there and build plastic models and follow the instructions. That just came to me. Remember those? I bet a lot of you out there had a collection of them. And I used to make, you know, what they call a rat rod today. I would sort of make my own up. You would build the engine and everything. A lot of the stuff you wouldn't even see after you built it. You built around it. But in the end, like the doors would open or the hood would open, and it would take a long time. I don't think you could do it in one sitting. But cement models, that used to be big. Haven't seen those in 100 years. But I'll think of some more toys. But let me know in the comments, what was your favorite thing you got for Christmas? Was it bicycles? Was it a Barbie? I remember a hippity hop. It's a bouncing ball with like rabbit ears on it. How about big wheels? Remember big wheels? Oh yeah. Yeah, all of these things. Now the way I celebrated Christmas, I think it was kind of common. Santa Claus brought everything. There was no just a gift exchange, or you come down and you open everything under the tree and that's your Christmas. No, no, no. Santa Claus, according to the old stories and cartoons and the stories, was he come down the chimney and he left toys out, and you wake up and you see these toys, and you leave out cookies or brownies for him and some milk, and he would leave a letter. So when I was a kid, we'd go to bed about 3 o'clock in the afternoon trying to bring Christmas on. We were allowed to open one present at night, and my mom always knew what it was, so it was always pajamas. And they were usually long too, because when I was really young in those days, I lived in Alabama and Georgia as a kid, so it was probably cold, and so we had the long pajamas. We'd go to bed, and you'd hear Mom and Dad, if they had guests over, partying in there and talking and murmuring, and you were just sitting there believing with all your heart that Santa was going to come, but he wouldn't come until you were asleep. And you've seen it the year before, you remember, you come out of your room, you go out in the living room, and there's all this chrome, plastic, metal, bikes, and all these different things. I had a brother and a sister I was growing up with, and so we all three got stuff, so that was a lot of stuff out there. And everything was just there, nothing wrapped. The things that were under the tree that were wrapped had been there already for a couple of weeks. And there could be a little game. There's usually socks and underwear and pajamas and stuff, like I said. But you would open them, there would be little things. We'd have the stockings over the mantle. Definitely got to put those up. And they would be stuffed with little toys and fruits and nuts and stuff like that Santa would fill up for you. And then of course we'd go over to the table, and that was what made it really realistic, is the cookies or the brownie or a piece of cake or whatever it was we left out. There'd be some crumbs left, and the milk would be drank, and the glass would be there, and there would be a note that he left saying how we were good boys and girls, and Merry Christmas to us, and thanks for the cookie and milk and all that. And, you know, I don't know how old I was, but I believed with all my heart. And I remember during the holiday time as I got older, and when I didn't believe in Santa Claus anymore, some of the traditions that I liked was having fruit cake. A lot of you know I love fruit cake, you know, for Christmas. You can't even find it the rest of the year. But I haven't even seen one yet. I haven't even seen a Claxton fruit cake. 2 years ago, the community sent me 20 fruit cakes. I had the Claxtons, I had high dollar ones, I had some homemade ones, I had fruit cakes like you wouldn't believe. And they were all great. Gave some away, froze some, snacked on them for a while. I would probably still have some. I had so many. But yeah, the traditional, I used to love when I was married to have nuts out on the coffee table with a nutcracker. And every kind of nut, Brazilian nut, walnuts, pecans, the little acorn looking things, whatever they're called. I think they're called almonds maybe or something. There'd be at least 5 different types of nuts, a variety. And I'd sit there and crack the nuts. That would put me in the spirit. And then of course I still do. And I haven't seen one yet. And it's already going to be the 9th tomorrow. To me it's getting late in the month. The Christmas movies. Now probably Hallmark has a lot of the modern, they all get the same shtick where someone's mean and they're kind of a Scrooge, and then they, you know, have a change of heart by the end of the movie and, you know, want to celebrate Christmas. But I like the traditional old Scrooge. There's one with George C. Scott, and there's that 1930s one, and Bill Murray plays one too. That's one of the more modern ones. But what are your memorable? Did you receive? Did Santa Claus bring you everything? You wake up and it was all like laying there. Did you get presents? Was more presents put under the tree while you were sleeping, and you woke up and there was a lot of? I know people that do it that way. They put wrapped gifts under the tree so that when the kids wake up, they just see a lot more presents and start ripping them apart. You know, you hear this one's for you and this one's for you. When we came out of our room and all that stuff was laying out there, my sister knew which was hers. I knew which was mine. I knew what bicycle was mine. My brother, he was 3.5 years younger. He knew what was his. And it was really some memorable Christmases. My stepfather is actually the one that raised me, and I think I was 4 or 5 years old when him and my mom got together. And so I was remembering, you know, quite vividly the traditional Christmases that we celebrated like that. And if you got a bicycle, you know, they had to put it together. They didn't have pre-assembled bikes. They had them in a box. Apparently they kept everything in the trunk of the car, up in the attic. They would get everything out and they would have to make everything, build everything. They were up till really late doing all this stuff, and they had a great time doing it for us. And they were partying and having their own fun out there, building bikes and race car tracks. I'd come out there, my race car track was ready just to push the button. And those cars were so cool. I remember getting Hot Wheels too. They were way better than the Matchbox. They could roll better. And they had that thing where you go through a loop around and a ramp. Yeah. I'm trying to remember all the toys. Let me know in the comments what you got. Different things, your favorite thing. Did you ever do that with your kids? Did you pass the tradition on? I did. That's the way I did it for mine too. And there's something else I was going to talk about. That, you know, the Christmas music, we didn't know any of these modern songs and some of the, and they're very nice songs today, but they were all the old traditional ones. And how about when we used to go singing carols, Christmas carols. We'd go door to door, we'd go down the road singing Christmas carols. You wouldn't do that today, you wouldn't see it today. What else for the holidays? Oh, I was just talking to somebody the other day. Every year, we would get in the car, you know, 2 or 3 times that month and just drive around the neighborhoods to see the Christmas lights. Everyone participated. Everyone strung lights on the roof of the house and in the yard and different things. And man, they went crazy. It was like Christmas Vacation, the movie. And it was just really cool to see all. You talk about putting you in the mood and the spirit. You drive around, and now I go around, I see a house here and a house there. But you used to be able to go to some neighborhoods too, and everyone participated. And it was just incredible. You could even park and get out and walk around. There were so many houses, door, door, door. And then they had things out front to look at and stuff. But we used to drive around, look at the lights. Heck, we used to just drive around on a Sunday and take a drive. You ever done that? You ever done that when you were a kid? Does your mom and dad ever just, let's go for a drive? Yep. That was my neighbor. Yeah, this little Vivor here is pretty cool. I'm really digging it. When the holidays are over, I'll definitely switch the lights to the maybe some cafe lights, you know, the amber or a soft white light to illuminate it in here. I want it bright, and get another table or something. But I like it positioned here, even though it's out here. It's not bad. I think I'm digging it. I could still put it back there where the truck is now, where I started at, but this isn't bad. I got my blind here so I don't have any gawkers. I got a blind here and a blind here, and it's not hot in here. It's really perfect. It's really perfect. Really enjoying it. So, switching gears on you now. I went to the gym earlier. Went over to LA Fitness. I hadn't been in there in a while. I've been going to Planet Fitness. I kind of like a couple of the machines they have because I haven't done any free weights. I don't want to, you know, get sore or get hurt. And, you know, until you get your movement down, you get pretty strong. Free weights, not only do they take more time to lift the weights up, put them on the bar, and do all that. Machines are a lot easier to stick a pin in. It's a controlled movement. But it was a light workout, but I did a lot of reps. I'll definitely be feeling it. And what I know what will happen is, you know, 30 days from now, you know, going every day without missing, pretty much every day, I will start to build, tone, firm up, feel good, more energy, and everything's going to be great. I'm excited about that. I'll tell you, you really know how important it is once you're there and then you lose it. Or let's say you get sick, you know, and you lose your health a little bit for a while, even just a cold. And then you get strong again and you're like, oh man, health is wealth. Nothing better than feeling really good and strong and feeling good about how you think you look in the mirror. Not saying, you know, you're getting any younger or you're going to get rid of your wrinkles, but you can feel pretty good, you know, your waistline and energetic, and that's awesome. So I'm really excited about pushing that to the limit. So today when I rode the Gold Wing, it was quite phenomenal. In fact, I wanted to share it with you so bad I had it with me too, in the trunk. I was gonna put the iPhone on that thing I wear around my neck and not worry about the microphone and just video. It would have been real quick to do. I don't know why I didn't. And then I would have done a voiceover once I got back. But when I was on I-75 southbound and went down to Siesta, excuse me, it's in that hour, you know. What? Make some coffee. I was going down to Siesta Key. I got down to Clark Road, and I was going to go over to Siesta Key Beach, but I just turned around and wanted to get back on the freeway again and ride. And there was a lot more of a headwind coming back than there was going down. But if you just do 70 and under, you're just, that thing is solid. When you get to 75 and 80, obviously you're doing 75 or 80, so you're moving. But I like it in the slow lane or the middle lane, and be doing slower than the speed of traffic, so they all just go by you. You never have to change lanes. You never have to slow down for anybody. You just cruise. And of course, I had the helmet linked to my iPhone, and I was listening to. I got 3 months of free Apple Music from the new iPhone purchase, and I was listening to some Led Zeppelin, a full album. You gotta listen to the Presence. I think it's called the Presence album. It was what's his name? Robert Plant's probably his best vocals. I think it's called Presence Remastered. There's only 7 songs on it. All damn good. Really good. I was listening to it again tonight in the Super Duty when I went to the store to get some water and a few things. In fact, I sat in the parking lot for about 10 minutes. I was skipping those songs, listening to about 2 minutes of each one. So I'm going to definitely be listening to that album again. And I'm able to just turn it up or down or skip a song right on my helmet. I don't need to worry about Bluetoothing it to the bike. The bike has its own GPS. I don't need to be, using Siri with it or whatever. I can just do my own thing. But everybody's out tonight. I just saw my neighbor walking his dog. These people over here are out every night around their easy up gazebo, whatever you want to call it. The weather is amazing down here. I was talking to my daughter today up in Atlanta. It has been raining. It has been cold, like frigid, freezing. And it is what it is. She doesn't complain. She told me it was cold though. And I was waxing on I was talking to her on the phone. I'm waxing my Gold Wing a little bit today. When it rained last night, I took the cover off and dried it with a chamois. Then I went over with some microfibers and that spray wax with the turtle wax, the hybrid. And I said, "Oh, it's so hot." She goes, "Isn't that crazy? 10 hours, 550 miles away. It's such a difference in the climate." Yeah, pretty soon when old man winter really settles in, this will literally be the only place in America that's warm. I mean, even San Diego, while it's going to be beautiful, it'll be chilly. I kind of like that weather though. Chilly mornings and nights and toasty afternoons. Well, I think I'm going to buy another pair of shoes tomorrow. What a shocker. I have white shoes And now I want a pair of black shoes. So I think I saw a pair at Dick's. There is a $10 reward that they sent me on my email. These shoes are only 75 bucks. And the last several pair I bought are 150 bucks a piece. So they're black, and I'm gonna get them, I think. I definitely want a pair of black ones. The deal is with the white ones I have and these crazy colors and stuff I bought, I love them. I do love the Vomeros. They look good with shorts. But if you're gonna wear pants, and we have a little cooler weather now and all, white tennis shoes look a little weird with pants. So you need a black shoe or a navy. So, you know, I've got a video I need to check that I put up, making the hamburger and egg carnivore meal. But I did want to get out here and make a video for you guys for evening chat, fireside chat, and talk about Christmas and the old-timey ways. And then today now, what about today? Let's get back on it. Today, you know, everything costs a lot of money. Everything has to move or be electronic or have a video in it, a battery in it or something. And it just has to be expensive. It doesn't have to be, but it usually is. And man, if you got 3 kids and then 10 family members and some close friends, you know, you buy anything for under 25 or 50 bucks, and it's just kind of like garbage that they're not going to do anything except throw it away, and you're just throwing your money away. If you multiply 50 bucks times 10 or 12 or 15 people, 8 or 12 or 15 gifts, I mean, you're going to get at least 6 or 8 gifts for somebody. Even me as a solo guy, I've got what, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm down to the low numbers. I'm down to single digits, that's for sure. That I'll have to get something for. And I guess I'll be, you know, asking, well, I already know Fred and Raphael, they do something with a couple I think they know. And that's fine. The Thanksgiving thing with them was awesome. We went over to Cracker Barrel. That was an amazing meal for free. Their kids gave them they have a ton of Cracker Barrel gift cards, and they use that. I was going to treat them, but they did the treating, and actually their kids treated us. So, but for Christmas, I'll either go off and do something on my own, take a ride on the wing. I don't know. Thinking about it. But I know this year I'm into it, and you know, you can tell with the lights and all that. It's nice. You're listening to Christmas carols. They got a thing on YouTube. You can put a fireplace or a Christmas tree or a cabin with snow falling out a window with Christmas music or jazz, whatever you want to hear. You know, new songs, old classic ones, and that gets me in the spirit. I've already treated myself. I'll get these shoes maybe. What in the world is that? What is that racket? Hey, what's up? Yeah.
Oh. There's cops.
Huh?
There's cops over here with loudspeakers.
It's cops?
In the park, yeah.
We got the police here at the park.
They're trying to call somebody out of the camper.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
When I get through video, and I'll tell you something.
Yeah,
They got a loudspeaker. We should go check it out. They're come out with your hands up. I thought it was some video game that the kids over here. We got some kids that live over here. Maybe I should go see what's going on, folks. I'm gonna call this one quits, get it up for you, and I'll let you know in the morning what it was all about. Crush it!